It sounds weird, but for the past 2 months, Fortnite has tricked their community. Hear me out. For almost a century, psychologists have been studying a glitch in human behavior, a biological weakness that makes us completely abandon logic, time, and sanity, all for the sake of a variable reward. In textbooks, this concept is called a variable ratio schedule of reinforcement. In the real world, it's the exact reason a slot machine can hold a person hostage for 12 hours straight.
I lost $4 million in 7 years, but I enjoyed every moment of it.
It's also why your thumb automatically swipes down to refresh a social media feed when you're already bored. It turns human curiosity into a compulsion loop. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, for the better part of a year, Fortnite has been facing an invisible crisis. It isn't a crisis of player counts or server crashes, but something far more lethal to a video game: apathy. Basically, people have just been losing interest. For nearly a decade, the core loop of Fortnite had remained fundamentally unchanged. Drop, loot, build, survive. Epic Games had thrown everything to keep the formula fresh, shattering the map, flooding the island, throwing in multiversal collaborations, and even stripping away building entirely with zero build. But the underlying mechanics were growing old. The meta was solved. Every match just felt the same, like a ghost of a match you've already played 1,000 times before. The cultural momentum was stalling. For 9 long years, the ultimate objective of Fortnite was concrete. In fact, it was printed in bold, bright letters across the screen of anyone skilled or lucky enough to survive: Victory Royale. It was the definitive goal, the apex of the loop. But by 2026, the Victory Royale had suffered from severe emotional inflation. After thousands of matches and hundreds of seasonal umbrellas, every win meant less and less. Securing a victory was no longer rewarding. The dopamine loop that had sustained the biggest game on Earth for 9 years was flatlined. Faced with this problem, Epic Games didn't just alter the map. In fact, they did something far more sinister. They weaponized human nature, turning our own biological greed into their ultimate retention tool.
People would do anything to bag a bargain.
Remember the variable ratio schedule of reinforcement I was talking about earlier? Well, let me explain it to you in Fortnite terms. Think of the variable ratio schedule as the game's hidden math that forces you to actually play instead of just camping. If you want a rare holofoil or galaxy sprite, sitting in a bush for 20 minutes won't do anything, because the reward is based purely on your actions, not time. To get the good stuff, you have to actively land at a hot POI, run around, eliminate players, and physically open as many Sprite Chests as possible. Or in other words, you have to get the Sprite won't come to you. The variable part just means the game completely scrambles the numbers, so it's totally unpredictable. If a rare Sprite has a 5% drop rate, that means you'll pull one every 20 chests on average. But the game rolls a secret pair of dice every time you open a container, meaning you could get insanely lucky and pull a rare one from your very first chest, or go on a brutal 45 chest dry spell of getting nothing but common Earth Sprites, and then suddenly pull 2 Galaxy 0 points back to back. And that randomness is precisely why your brain refuses to let go of the controller, driving a textbook psychological illusion called the gambler's fallacy. Epic Games does this on purpose, because if the game gave out a rare Sprite on exactly every 20 chests, it would feel like a boring chore. Instead, by scrambling the odds, your mind begins to treat every single blue glowing pink crystal chest as the one. Because you never truly know what container holds the jackpot, your brain gets a massive rush of excitement every single time a glowing chest pops up, triggering that voice in your head that says, just one more chest, this next one is definitely it. It's the exact trap that keeps you hooked on the grind. The psychological rewiring has completely fractured how Fortnite is played, triggering a quiet, massive paradigm shift where the traditional win condition went out the window. In the past, the mid-game of a Fortnite match was a slow, calculated exercise in positioning. You moved toward the center of the storm circle, conserved your shields, and prepared your materials for the final fight. Today, the meta-narrative of a match looks entirely different. The exact moment a player uncovers a rare Sprite variant, their objective instantly flips from conquest to extraction. The game suddenly stops being a tactical shooter and transforms into a tense, claustrophobic survival horror. The final circle and Victory Royale are completely forgotten.
It's not clocking to that I'm standing on business, is it?
The only thing that matters is surviving just long enough to secure the asset to lock that proof of collection permanently into your locker's index.
I don't care about losing my Sprite, bro. I'm a grown man. I don't care how rare it is. This is a kid's game, you know? No, I lost my Sprite!
Players are actively avoiding beneficial high ground positions, ignoring the incoming storm, and fleeing from combat entirely, all to protect a floating digital companion. I mean, it is a masterful illusion. A Sprite illusion, some might say.
You're trying to manipulate me! Oh my gosh! No! Y'all trying to manipulate me!
Epic Games didn't need to fix the exhaustion of the Battle Royale genre just to save Fortnite. They just convinced millions of players that the crown wasn't worth fighting for. But the collection was. Don't forget, 99% of players quit opening Sprite Chests before they hit a rare one.